What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Boleros. Sam here with the Sultan of Sando, Mr. Gablim, and Mr. Maui up, back fresh from his trip to Europe, from Europe. What's up, guys?
Very rainy. I hope all those who
Ingat
were
lahat.
affected by all the floods and the
Stay
wind. I
safe.
hope yes, stay safe. Stay in your homes. I hope majority of you are at home and safe. So the UAP is the least of our concerns, but medyo matagal na kasi walang UAP. So here's something to entertain you for a bit.
Pantawid no? Before the UAAP weekend. Okay, let's get started. We're going to talk about some of the games this coming weekend, but we'll focus on the rivalry between Ateneo and La Salle. Well, it's not much of a rivalry this season, maybe, but let's still talk about it. So, what are the things to watch out for in this Ateneo versus La Salle round 2? La Salle getting a win in round 1. Let's start with you, Maui.
Yeah. My biggest question for this weekend is, can Ateneo make it a game against La Salle? La Salle is the hottest team in the UAAP right now with, I think, a 6-game winning streak. If you look at yung offensive efficiency ng La Salle, I think they're top in field goal and top also in 3-point shooting. How will Ateneo contain La Salle? I still get nightmares from that Phil Oil game. I know si Gab also gets nightmares. Despite Ateneo not being plummeted that much nung first round, they were able to hang with La Salle for the first half of the game. But will Ateneo be able to do that for the whole 4 quarters? I think that's what I'm looking at. I'm not expecting an Ateneo win, but for Ateneo to have a good second round, they have to show that they belong. And for that to happen, they have to show that they can hang with La Salle.
Sabi nga nila, Maui, when it's Ateneo La Salle, all the previous games, all the stats are off the table. Diba? That's how it's been throughout history. Diba? I go back to 2002. You remember that? La Salle was 13-0. Ateneo was in third place. They beat La Salle to prevent the streak. Season 80, Ateneo was 13-0. La Salle beat Ateneo to prevent the streak. There are so many occasions in history. I'm sure a lot of our older subscribers can name multiple instances wherein records and stats don't matter in an Ateneo La Salle game. If it's a rivalry, both teams will get up to play no matter how badly they've played, how badly they've had a season to play. If their record sucks, it doesn't matter for an Ateneo La Salle game. So, tama ka dyan. But the thing that I'm watching out for is rebounding. Because in all of the La Salle's wins this year, this calendar year versus Ateneo, and they've beaten Ateneo in all of the games, whether it's in Pinoy Liga, Phil Oil, or in the UAAP, they've beaten Ateneo. They have massively out-rebounded Ateneo. Just look back, round 1, I think La Salle had a 24 rebound advantage over Ateneo, just killed them on the glass. If that happens again, I don't think Ateneo has a chance. Actually, we're not expecting an Ateneo win. I'm surely not expecting one. But if Ateneo does want to win, or we see a chance of Ateneo having a win, they have to at least keep it close on the rebound battle. They can't allow La Salle to get 20 or 15 more possessions than them. That's gonna lead to disaster, diba? I in the first round, La Salle gang rebounded against Ateneo together with them. I don't think. I think they're still gonna do that same strategy. Just overwhelm them with size, uh, get as many rebounds, get as many offensive rebounds as possible, get as many fouls as possible on the Ateneo bigs or on any Ateneo player. So boxing out is going to be key for Ateneo. Let's see if Balogun can actually build
Play.
off his Gago.
Diba? Kasi he found out in 5 minutes. 5 or 6
Oh.
minutes during the first round encounter.
Yeah, okay. So first, can Balogun actually play a significant amount of minutes? And second, can he actually, work off that good game he had against UST? Although there was no Mo Tongkara there, he had a decent game. So I hope he can build off of that. Maybe he can. Let's see. But if he can grab 7 to 9 rebounds, I would be happy. Just battle with the bigs of La Salle off the glass. Porter is gonna have to keep himself out of foul trouble, because if he's in foul trouble, it's gonna be up to Kyle Ong and Balogun and a really small lineup of Josh Lazaro or maybe si Bongo trying to contain sina Mike Phillips. I don't think it's gonna work. So the rebounding is going to be key for La Salle to win, and it's going to be key for Ateneo to even keep it close. Because I think if they win the rebounding battle convincingly, La Salle is going to blow out Ateneo again. Sammy.
I love that. I love that pick, yung rebounding battle. I was going to say something similar, more on the intensity. Because I remember in the first round of the game, grabe si Mike Phillips. Talagang kinain tayo. And Mike really just wanted to get that ball every time. Lalo na yung end of first half, I think yung free throw, yung missed free throw na yon, Mike rebounded, just kept rebounding that ball. I think dun pa lang talo na agad yung Ateneo after seeing that. So can Ateneo match yung intensity ng La Salle on both ends of the floor? Or can Ateneo match Mike Phillips' intensity? Kasi si Mike pa lang intense na niya, diba? And which will hopefully lead to a battle for rebounds, no? One thing that I will add though is siguro another thing to look out for is yung how will Ateneo and La Salle start this game? In some of the games, La Salle has had a slow start. I think this is where Ateneo can capitalize on. I think in their last game against UST, Ateneo started out great. They were leading for like double-digit leads in the first half. So can Ateneo keep that momentum na they can start out great, and hopefully that will help them stay afloat throughout the game? Kasi kung first half pa lang tambak na or there's a slow start from Ateneo, you know La Salle can make like these crazy runs, just like in Adamson where it was 21-25 and then 5 minutes left in the second quarter and then suddenly it's a 20-21 point lead from La Salle. So La Salle can just snap like that and build a 20-point lead. So for me, Ateneo has to start really well. Siguro their rare instance na lang yun sa UST, because UST started out slow, they were horrible, then they had a miraculous comeback, sent the game to overtime, but medyo mahirap for an Ateneo team to do that. So for me, Ateneo has to start really early. Start well and match yung intensity ng La Salle. Maybe other things to watch out for, or maybe a key player to watch out for. Meron ba kayo? Maui?
Yeah, I'm watching out for CJ Austria, diba? Kasi it was just announced that Earl Abadam is out for the whole second round. CJ Austria was a very crucial player for La Salle throughout the whole offseason. I was expecting a breakout by CJ Austria this year, but unfortunately, he was injured. Diba? He's been injured the whole first round. I think he was sold out originally for the whole first round, but he went back early. He hasn't gotten yung groove back. I'm expecting him to get that groove back. I loved how he played against PBA teams, diba? He was physical. He got a lot of free throws. I think that set the tone for La Salle, really becoming that defensive and intimidating presence. I really like how CJ Austria plays. Reminds me of our favorite Lasallian, Mr. Aranya.
Right,
I'm hoping
Aranya.
he gets that edge back during the second round. Maybe he just needs to get healthy. Lasal will need that. When they've lost
Good
Abadam,
point.
who's been one of their best
Good point.
perimeter defenders. Austria will have to set the tone. Makalalag also will have to set the tone. But they have enough weapons. I just think that when Austria is humming, when Austria is doing his thing, Lasal is more dangerous, diba? They have that other aspect of, they have that other scorer, they have that other player who brings the same intensity as Mike Phillips does. That makes them deadly. I think that's what makes LaSalle deadly this season. It's not KQ scoring 30 points, 25 to 30 points. It's when those role players score 10 points apiece, diba? That's when you don't know how to stop this team. And if CJ Austria can bring that edge, that will be very crucial, especially once we get to the Final Four.
Love that pick.
Ako
Tyler
not a
Tio's bestie.
particular yung kaya nga ako yung natawa nung sabi ni Maui na he played well against the PBA teams and even made a best friend in Tyler Tio. So, ako is not much of a player, Sam. Ako, a key to winning or a key to keep it close also for Ateneo because
Ateneo.
we want a close game. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think anyone wants a blowout. 3-point shooting. In majority of LaSalle's wins, they have kept their opponent to less than 30% 3-point shooting. Just look at against UP, look at against FEU, against Adamson. They've forced teams to shoot terribly from 3. Or baka minamalas ang team. But, I don't think it's just malas. I think it's the way LaSalle plays. They really force tough shots on the perimeter. The only game they've lost against UE this season was when an opponent outshot them from 3. I think that's gonna be the key. That's
Good
why
point.
the first half of Ateneo-La Salle round 1 was close because Ateneo shot well from 3. That is the key to victory. One of the keys to victory for Ateneo. They have to shoot well from 3. So if you're talking about a key player that I think we should watch, Drew Bongo. He's been on
Yep.
fire. He's
Yep.
been on fire
He's
the
my
past
pick.
couple of 2 games. A fire, quote unquote, but he's hit 3 threes
Three
in 2 straight
threes.
games.
Yep.
And he will have to hit more threes off the penetration of guys like Kuhn, guys like Kiteves, yung guys like Bahay. He has to hit those threes. I don't know if we're gonna see Kyle Gamber. Probably not. Despite the clamor from a lot of Ateneo fans, we're probably not gonna see Kyle Gamber. But Jared Bahay has to hit threes. Ian Espinosa, I hope he can build off that game against UST. I hope he hits some threes because that's the only way Ateneo's not gonna keep it close. Is going to keep it close because La Salle is a big team. La Salle will rely a lot on paint points based on their size. So the only way to battle the paint points is to battle them with math. Just outmath them. Shoot and hit more threes, and you'll probably have a chance to win. You can look at the stats. That's the way La Salle has won their games. They've shot more threes and they've shot better from 3 than their opponents. If Ateneo can manage to shoot better and shoot more threes than La Salle, I think they'll have a good chance. Again, it's a lot to ask for this Ateneo team who has been constantly out-rebounded this season, who's been constantly been struggling on offense this season. It's a lot to ask, but we'll see. They're riding their first winning streak of the season, 2 games. Let's see if they can build off this. I think a lot of fans, of UAAP fans, including us, have pegged this as a scheduled loss already for Ateneo.
Mm-hmm.
With good reason, of course. But there's always hope. As I said, in an Ateneo-La Salle game, all records are thrown out the window. It's gonna be a rivalry game. Let's see how it pans out.
Yeah, I love that pick. Drew Bongo was actually my player to watch out for. You mentioned it. He hit 3 threes in the past 2 games, both wins. In the UST game, they were making a run. Tapos si Drew Bongo hit back-to-back threes, I think. So that helped Ateneo pad their lead. So something to look out for Ateneo. Siguro for La Salle, if I were to pick someone other than si Mike Phillips, who dominated Ateneo in the first round, maybe like a Josh David. I know he was the one who started out the run nung La Salle versus Adamson. I think he hit like a couple of threes. And he's been very good for La Salle the past few games. Actually in the top 10 of the MVP race at the start of the second round. So another player to watch out for. He'll be matched up against a pesky defender in Ian Espinosa and Jared Bahay. So it would be an interesting matchup. Doon naman sa other games, no? It's not just Ateneo or La Salle. But maybe before we move on, do you have anything else to add, Gab or Maui?
Just a minor thing to add for me. I'll be watching the crowd. Let's see if a 2-game winning streak is enough to bring the Ateneo crowd back.
Marami na manonood ulit.
Let's see, because in the first round, it was majority. I think if I were to estimate, I think it's a 70-30, 70% La Salle, 30% Ateneo who was in the crowd. A lot of the some fans also from the Ateneo side were also wearing green. A lot of them actually were also wearing green. So I don't blame them. La Salle is definitely the stronger team. It's nice to watch your team beat on your rival. So I get why they're watching. So I'm gonna watch the crowd. Is Ateneo
Nabaliktad na.
back? Oh,
Nabaliktad
let's
na,
see.
di ba? That's the MOA effect, di ba? People don't want to go to MOA when you expect a loss.
Totoo yan. They don't want to go through the hassle because it takes a lot of time.
Students. Katipunan students. Okay, moving on. We do have a couple of interesting games this week, and the other games that are scheduled: UE versus NU, UP versus Adamson. UE and UP. I feel like matagal ko na silang hindi nakita. They haven't played a lot of games in the second round. And then the last game, UST versus FEU. Any game there in particular that you're interested to watch? I know we sort of talked about the last game of this weekend. It's the UST versus FEU game. Would you believe it if things fall according to plan, if Ateneo gets a scheduled loss, Adamson against La Salle, Adamson gets their scheduled loss against UP, and FEU somehow beats UST, which is, diba, there's a chance. This is not like an Ateneo versus La Salle na medyo scheduled loss. There's a big chance FEU can beat UST. They're on a winning streak. UST is on a losing streak. FEU would actually climb up to number 4 in the standings. So, from the bottom of the standings for most of the season, they could be number 4 by the end of this round. By the end of this weekend.
For that, Sam, because tayo Tafat called FEU a Final Four team.
Final Four contender.
In order for us not to look like complete dumbasses, we want FEU to win.
But in our defense
Maui.
naman, diba? FEU is showing that they belong, diba? They can make the Final Four. It's just that they decided to start the season as poor as they did the past few seasons, diba? I think that's one of the things that we said, diba, before the start of the season. They should not start 0-4, 0-5. But despite all of that, diba, as you mentioned, Sam, they are still in the running. Diba? I think that's something to watch out for the whole second round. How this battle for fourth or even battle for third, if UE loses to NU this Saturday also, that could be another thing to watch out for. Sobrang gulo na. But if FEU beats USC, that's crazy. Diba? I think number 1, FEU is probably gonna be one of the hottest team. Second to La Salle. Number 2, if I were Pido Harencio, I'd probably be thinking that maybe I would not be here next season. Diba? I think a lot of UST fans are starting to get really frustrated with how the team has performed during the start of the second round. I would say that the schedule has played a big part also, di ba? They basically faced UP and La Salle. Maybe
Yeah,
that
good point.
maybe that Ateneo loss, di ba, could go back to them, but if they lose, then this could be a free fall for your UST, di ba? I mean, that's for how many straight losses? 4 or 5 straight losses.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. From a team who we thought could battle for number 2, they're gonna be a team who could not make the Final Four. Di ba? They will be the biggest bust of this season, even a bigger bust than FEU if they don't make the Final Four. Di ba? I think we all three of us were very high on UST this season just because of the players that they got and how they were hyped again for this season. It wasn't like previous seasons when we didn't know which players were going to play, diba? They were able to get Forsky Padrigao, they were able to get Paranada, you were able to see Estacio play very good during the off-season, and they have a very capable FSA. I think that's the number one thing, diba? But as we've said on this podcast, having a decent FSA usually leads to success, and I think having Mo Konate being so consistent, being so stable the past round and so is finally paying dividends for FEU. But it's one of the reasons why I think they're starting to really ramp up. Other players aside from Konate are starting to play very well.
UST was FEU's last loss in the first round. So before their 2-game winning streak, they lost to FEU. We didn't actually talk much about that game. I do remember, Sam, because we medyo ang bilis ng turnover from first round to second round, and we had that UP La Salle game to talk about. So we didn't actually focus on that. But on that game, FEU kept it close until UST via the incredible playmaking of Forsky Padrigao just pulled away in the fourth quarter. I'm interested I don't think FEU is gonna pull away from UST in this game if they're gonna win. I do think they're gonna go back to keeping it a grindhouse game. You know, keeping it close, keeping the game in the low 50s or 60s. That's their calling card for how many years now. They don't like scoring high. They don't like high scoring games, so I do expect that this is gonna be a slow game, a game with a lot of defensive stops, maybe perhaps a lot of turnovers. If they're able to keep it close, I think their experience in the clutch will win out. So far, FEU has won more clutch games than UST. That's true because all of
That's
their
a good
wins
point.
have been in the clutch, and they have
Nasanay
Johnny
na.
Bautista.
And they have
Oh,
Nahasa na
Mr.
from their
Fourth
whole
Quarter.
first round.
Yeah, so I do expect that if they're able to keep this a 5-point game or less, I think they have a chance, either in their favor or in UST's favor. They've shown that they can make big plays in the clutch, so I'm looking forward to that. Otherwise, we have a Mo versus Mo battle in the paint, and I'm excited for that too. The
Yeah.
battle of the best FSAs. Not anymore the mids. The best
Not anymore the
FSAs
mids. Actually,
are,
I was gonna
are,
say,
are finally
I was gonna say
battling.
Mo versus Mo, tapos dalawang four, si Mr. Fourth Quarter, Joric Bautista, tsaka si Fortsky Padrigao.
Medyo pilit,
Maui.
Sam. Medyo pilit.
Baka,
Medyo pilit.
baka ito na, Gab, yung validation ni Konate, di ba? If they get that win and he has a very big game against Tungkara, this could be that game that people will start talking about Mo Konate. Di ba? Kasi he's
And-
been severely underrated versus the other FSAs.
And for Tungkara naman, redemption niya to. A lot of people are blaming him for the 2 losses they had against La Salle, both against La Salle and against Ateneo. So, for Mo Tungkara, this is his chance to redeem himself after La Salle, UST losing, going on a losing streak. He needs to will his team to a win. So, I think something to watch out for. Player to watch out for si Tungkara. Gab, meron ka pa bang ibang games na looking out for or excited to watch this weekend?
Yeah, I am going to be there live at MOA for the Ateneo-La Salle game. But the game before that, I think it's going to be pretty interesting. UE versus NU. I'm not looking forward to the UP Adamson game. I mean, I expect that to be lopsided. Uh, because unless Adamson gets hot, extremely hot again, which is highly unlikely,
UP
like
will
it did
not
in the
allow
first.
that.
Oh, I don't think
Diba?
UP will allow that to happen again to them. So I don't think Adamson has a chance in this game. I'll give maybe a 5% chance or even less. Diba? Same as Ateneo. But UE NU is gonna be interesting for me. I do think similar to an FEU UST game or their first round encounter, UE NU is gonna be another grindhouse game. And it's gonna be a clutch game. NU defends very well. I don't think they're gonna allow UE to get off a ton of 3 pointers. In the first round encounter, it came down to the final 3 or 2%, 2 possessions. Eventually ending in a I think it was a three from the wing by Lingo to extend the lead to three, diba? So, but I extend the lead to four. But for and for UE, I do want to know if they're really twice to beat a top two contender. They've lost to La Salle. It was a close game. So, and we haven't seen them play in a week.
Mm-hmm.
Scheduling from the UAAP. We haven't seen them play in actually more than a week na nga eh. Na
Yeah.
di natin nakakita yung UE na naglalaro. So they're very fresh. If they have a chance, if they want a chance to make it to the top two and get that twice to beat advantage and against LaSalle or UP, some things have to go right for them. But they have to convincingly beat an NU team. I don't think that they're actually gonna dominate NU. I don't think NU is gonna allow that to happen. But if they can get a 9 point win, an 8 point win, just don't leave it out to a few possessions in the end game. I do think they'll be in pretty good position for to possibly have a chance at the top two. Again, a lot of things have to break right for them. Teams have to beat LaSalle or UP for them to get it. They already have 3 losses. So uh, that's it. I'm pretty interested. Are they for real? Well, they've shown they're for real, but are they a title contender? 'Di ba? That's it naman talaga eh. I mean, are they more than just uh Final Four locks for lock a lock yung for the Final Four? Are they more than that? Are they a title contender? They'll have to show it here because they lost to LaSalle. Their game against UP was canceled, so they have to build up towards that game because they essentially have to beat UP. They have to deal UP or they have to deal UP a loss in order for them to have a chance to go up to number two or not number one anymore, but number two. Tami.
Yeah, good point. And as you mentioned, matagal na natin hindi nakikita yung UE eh. So it would be interesting to see how they play, how they bounce back. Are they going to be rusty? Or is the rest good for them? This is a fresh start for UE because they broke yung winning streak nila. So at least for me, from my perspective, wala na yung pressure. Kasi sometimes that pressure can creep up, di ba? At least ito, fresh start, wala nang pressure. Just focus on the game at hand. Losing to LaSalle, you lost to LaSalle, let's move on. But I do like this game. Lalo na because I sort of, personally, gusto ko lang maging mas interesting yung standing. So I am cheering for NU for this game para lang lalong mas magkagulo yung standings. But UE has been a fun watch. So this is a good matchup. Good point, Gab. Maui, anything you want to add before we move on?
No, I'm okay. We can move on to our next segment.
Okay. So, sige, thank you for that cue. we did our mailbag questions the other day. Thank you for sending in your questions, by the way. And we received more questions. We will cover some of those questions in a future mailbag episode. But we did have an interesting question here that we thought would be interesting to cover para lang may mapag-usapan din tayo for this week habang while we wait for the next UAAP game. So let me read the question to you. So this is from MadC43. Random UAAP question. If you were to craft a starting five and a sixth man composed of present players who usually come off the bench and are not players of UP or La Salle, with the goal of having a fighting chance against La Salle and DLSU and UP, who would they be? So basically, we're building a super team of players from other teams outside UP and La Salle with the goal of beating La Salle and UP. Maybe we tweak the question a bit. Gab, what do you think?
Yeah, let's tweak it a bit. Let's take out the guys who come off the bench part. So
Okay.
we'll just choose 6 players, one from each team, like
Para
we
mas
do with our
mahirap,
fantasy.
one from each team.
Oh.
Yeah, I was gonna
One
say
from
the
each
same thing.
team.
Sige.
Pick our starting 5, pick 1 6-man to face off against La Salle or UB, because we all know both those teams are stacked. They're the clear top 2 of the league. We're always saying that facing La Salle or UP are scheduled losses. That's how far and away stronger they are compared to the rest of the competition. So this is gonna be interesting. Actually, also someone else requested the fantasy draft. So we're going parang a pseudo fantasy draft. We're picking
draft.
one team pala. We're picking one team. So we're debating.
We're building
sino
one
lalagay na.
team among the three of us, diba? So tayo na magda-draft. Team draft to. Okay, sige. Let's start. Let's start with the point guard. Who are you picking as your... Or gusto nyo ba big?
Let's start with the FSAs.
FSA, sige. FSA, sige. Sino ang pick nyo sa FSA? Because you can go Precious Momoway, you could go the two most, Konate and Tungkara. Who are you picking? Gab.
Woo! I'm going with Mo Konate. I don't know if you guys will agree, but in all of the games against La Salle or UP, he has kept it together. He hasn't fouled a lot. He's rebounded well. He's willing to go near 40 minutes to go up against both front lines. He hasn't given an inch. And he's not as turnover prone as Precious Momoway. He's also taller than Mo Tongkara. He's one of the
Good
leading
point.
shot blockers in the in the UAAP. He gets points mostly off putbacks and dunker spot passes or lobs. He does not need the ball in his hands to be effective. So for me, I'm making a case that Mo Konate should be our center of this dream team of the other UAP schools.
Oy.
Maui,
Sige.
Sam.
No, wait. I'll go before Maui kasi I'm picking someone else. So gusto ko si Maui yung magiging tiebreaker natin. So I love that pick. I love Mo Konate. You made very valid points. I'm going with Tongkara. I'm going with Mo Tongkara. And for me, my reasoning is I want to pick someone else from FEU. I think you know who. I want to pick Joric Buckets Bautista. We need someone who's clutch, who can help us win a close game against La Salle and UP. And sino pa bang pinaka-clutch sa UAAP this season? It's Joric Buckets Bautista, diba? So I need that because if we have a chance, if we're playing against UP and La Salle, it's most probably going to be a close game. So you need a clutch player. So as much as I love Konate, I need to get Joric Bautista. So I'm going with Tongkara. So slightly smaller than Konate, but I think he has a better shot also. So, kung gusto natin, the past few games, he's shot well from the three, yung corner three niya. So, if you wanna stretch the floor then, you can play Tongkara as like a stretch big. So, I guess that's the advantage versus like someone like Konate. So, Maui, you're the tiebreaker here. Who are you going with for our FSA?
Paano ko si Precious? Talagang
Hindi.
pag-uusapan natin.
Hindi naman si Precious. If you know me and if you watch yung ano namin, fantasy draft episodes from the previous years, we used to do that fantasy draft of all teams, all-time teams. You know I love wing players, diba? So I think you guys know where I'm going. I'm going with Mo Tongkara. Just because of the offensive versatility.
Mhm.
Diba? I like how he can stretch the floor. I think he gave La Salle a ton of problem when he did that during their last game. They almost pulled out that win. Unfortunately, they couldn't close out and he fouled out. The problem with Tongkara right now is against UP and La Salle is he gets into foul trouble. And that's because he doesn't have other big men or huge wing players to help him. Diba? I think that's one of
Undersized
the
din siya eh, diba?
that's one of the things that UST lacks, diba? Capable wing players and capable big man, diba? I mean, there's periods of time that they just put Eco Laure to foul people, diba? And Manaytay has to play 5. I think if we can build a lineup with Tongkara at the 5 and maybe some other athletic 4 and 3, then we can really unlock his full potential, diba? I think that offensive versatility is enough. I don't think that Mo Tongkara is also bullied when it comes to scoring inside and rebounding. I think that's very important. Maybe he doesn't have the same length, doesn't have the same shot blocking prowess as Konate, but I would bet on my offensive game more than on my defensive game when I'm up against La Salle and UP. You have to have enough firepower to be able to go up against those two juggernauts.
Gets ko naman. But the reason actually why I didn't pick Mo Tongkara is actually the opposite of what Sammy said, because I want to pick someone else from UST. I wanted
si
a
Fortsky.
Si Fortsky or si Nick.
Yun lang.
Si Fortsky or si Nick. Actually, di ba Sam?
Actually,
We
Nick.
commented this in our UST Ateneo recap. Nick Cabanero is a walking mismatch against
nga, no?
anyone.
Si
Diba?
Nick.
He's so huge.
Oo nga. No?
So anyway, I wanted either si Fortsky or si Nick from UST if we're gonna face off against UST or La Salle. Someone
That's a good point.
to turn someone for the defense to lock onto. Like, okay, we have to pressure Fortsky, we have to pressure Nick, but sige, Mo Tongkara. Okay.
Good point na, sayang. Hindi ko na isip, nga no, si Nick pa pala. Anyway, sige, go Gab. Let's pick you wanna pick the other big man or let's pick a point guard muna?
Let's pick a point guard.
Yeah.
In my opinion, the two most important
positions.
Yeah, we always say
go.
that. We always say that on the show, di ba? FSA and point guard ang most important.
Okay, sige, Maui. Ikaw naman mag-start. Sino ang point guard pick mo? Si Gab, hindi na pwede yung Fortsky.
Nag-iisip pa ako eh. Actually may point bigla si Gab eh. Kasi
Diba?
easy pick eh.
Kaya sabi ko sa inyo si Fortsky eh.
Easy pick eh.
Someone needs to break the press of both
Easy
UP and La Salle.
Easy pick when you talk about
Jared
Fortsky
Bahay na
eh. Diba?
yan. Tiwala.
No. I'm not that much of a homer to pick a rookie, di ba? To be my point guard to beat La Salle or UP. Players like Bahay or Pasaol will struggle right off the bat. Mahirap nga to.
Ian Espinosa.
Sino nga point guard?
Ako,
baka kayo guys. Baka you have an idea. Sige, go first.
I'll go with John Abate. I'm going with John Abate. He's proved
That's
diba?
a good
He's
pick.
proven
I like
he
that
can
pick.
handle the pressure. He's proven he's a bigger guard too. He's proven he can score, he can shoot, he can run pick and roll, he can attack the basket.
Sure ball sa free throws.
Diba? A good free throw shooter, can hang with the guards of UP and La Salle, has proven to us that he can hang with the guards of UP and La Salle and can handle the pressure. If we're not gonna have Fortsky on our team, I want John Abate there. So I don't know about the two of you. I'm picking John Abate.
Actually, if I were to pick nga, maybe it's John Abate. I was just trying to find another point guard kasi I wanted naman sana si Lingo-Lingo to put inside. Diba?
Yeah, that's true.
You want that knockdown shooter, eh? Diba? The best shooter in the UAP, I think, right now. But I don't think there's another point guard aside from Abate who has really shown and proven that he can hang with La Salle and UP, diba? I think Abate's best game this
Against
season
La Salle.
came against La Salle. Diba? So he's the perfect point guard also. So I would have to agree with Gab on that one.
Okay.
Sammy,
Sige.
do you have a swerve pick or you're going with John Abate?
Well, John Abate na tayo, diba? But, I love that pick. Hindi ko naisip yun, honestly. Because I also wanted Lingo-Lingo. So, it has to be someone, for me, just picking yung other guys that I have in mind. It has to be someone from Ateneo. So, for me, it's Jared Bay, Ian Espinosa, or maybe Chris Kuhn. Swerve. Wala nang wala nang pure point guard. Ano na lang, Chris Kuhn, mga ball handlers na lang. Chris Kuhn, Joric Bautista, Welo Lingo-Lingo. Sila na bahala, puro 3-point shots na lang tayo. At least malalaki din. Those are my swerve picks, but I love the John Abate pick. Sige, let's go with John Abate.
Okay. What's our next position, Sam? Let's go with let's go with a shooting guard. Let's go with a shooting guard.
Sige, let's go with the shooting guard. And I mentioned mine, so I'll start this time. My top pick is Joric Buckets Bautista. I mentioned it. One of the best 3-point shooters in the league. We won't be able to pick Welo Lingo-Lingo, so all the more we need to pick Joric Bautista. And he's Mr. Clutch. He's Mr. Fourth Quarter. Probably will play a close game against UP and La Salle, so we need a guy that we can go to win the game. So Joric Bautista for me. Gab.
I do agree. We do need shooting. I said it in our Ateneo-La Salle preview. The way to beat La Salle and the way to beat UP as well is to shoot it from the outside. A ton of makes, a better percentage than both of those teams can give you a good chance to beat a UP or a La Salle. So I think Joric is a good pick. I do worry about the defense. I mean, he's not, the best defender out there. But I think we can cover it up by our other two picks. I hope we do. And Motongkara is not a bad defender himself. He's not that much of a rim protector, but I think we can handle that. So yeah, if there's anyone else from FEU, it's gonna have to be Joric. The shooting is invaluable. Maui.
Yeah. Ako actually serve pick ako supposedly. But I think Joric deserves to be the main shooting guard. My serve pick would have been Chris Kuhn from Ateneo because maybe the shooting is inconsistent, but you get that defense, you get that rebounding. Diba? When you face a team like La Salle and UP, you have the best front court in the UAAP. You have to have that big forward who can rebound the ball. That's one of the reasons why I think Chris Kuhn could have been considered as that pick. Maybe we could also talk about him sa small forward slot.
Actually,
he was my pick for a small forward.
Yeah, same. Okay, sige. So, ayan. So, Maui, sige, maybe expound on the Chris Kuhn pick kasi I think we all agree na he's going to be our small forward.
Because sino pa ba sa Ateneo, pare?
Oy, pwede si Tuano Pwede si Tuano.
Tuano.
Diba Tuano had his best game? Had his best game against La Salle also. If you take out the very bad free throw shooting. But no, the reason why I wanted to pick Chris Kuhn also was because I was considering Jake Figueroa as the other guard wing slot. But I think my arguments for Chris Kuhn is basically would be your same arguments. You need that veteran. You need that rebounding forward. You need that guy who can defend multiple positions.
Versatility,
you need that versatility. You need that guy who can also play make when Abate is pressured. We know that UP and La Salle like to play full court press, likes to do full court press at time and pressure the guards. Diba? UP has arguably has the best backcourt in the UAAP the past few seasons, and it's because they play both ends of the floor. Diba? They are skilled on the offensive end, but they also bring in the defensive intensity, di ba? That's one of the reasons why Fortea did not get minutes in previous seasons, maybe aside from his injury. But si Chris Kuhn, basically that versatile forward, di ba? Somebody who can do everything that you can ask for, who doesn't demand the ball a lot, di ba? We need
Can shoot too.
can shoot
That's
too.
the most important thing for me. He can
Same.
shoot from 3.
He
Yeah.
can shoot from 3, and I think we've established maybe the past few seasons that Chris Kuhn is not that guy to go in the clutch, diba? He's not that guy. He should have been that guy, but he hasn't been that guy. And pairing him with a guy like Joric Bautista is probably a match made in heaven, diba? Somebody who wants to take that last shot, somebody who can be that closer.
Yep, I agree. I wanted Duelo Lingo, but since we can't pick him, I think another great shooter is Chris Kuhn, and he has the length. He can play both ends of the floor. So I love that pick. So, okay, just to recap, ha? Recap muna tayo. FSA, Motong Kara, UST, out na UST. Point guard, John Abate, UE, okay, out na UE. Shooting guard, Joric Bautista, FEU, and then Chris Kuhn from Ateneo as our small forwards. We have 2 positions left, 2 teams left, Adamson and NU. And since dalawa na lang, maybe we can just go out and say our 2 picks. Maui, since you mentioned Jake Figueroa, I do want to pick Jake Figueroa. So I want to pick him from NU. He's going to be my 6th man off the bench. Can play multiple positions. He can, if you can play him at a power forward or you can play him as a wing. The other guy that I'm going to pick as my starting big man from Adamson, I think you know who it is. It's going to be Baby Boy Manzano. So I think he pairs well with Tongkara kasi si Tongkara can go outside, shoot outside. If you want to play big, Tongkara and Manzano. If you want to play small ball, Manzano can slide as the 5. Figueroa could be your power forward. So at least may versatility yung lineup. Who are your last 2 picks? Kasi Adamson NU na lang din yung pagpipilian nyo.
I actually had the same, Sam. I had the same. But
Interesting.
hindi si Manzano yung starter ko. Si Manzano yung 6-man ko.
Okay.
As a
Makes
reliever for Mo, and as emergency if Mo Tongkara gets into foul trouble, we have Cedric Manzano coming off the bench and
Damn.
banging with the big sa Pasalo. He's shown over and over again, despite being an undersized center, he can eat bigger guys alive. He's that good. His footwork is that good. He's that strong. I do think when you guys said si Motong Kara, when you guys voted for Motong Kara to be our starting center, to be our FSA, the next guy agad na naisip ko, okay, si Cedric Manzano dapat ang piliin sa Adamson because there's no other local big man, I think, who can hang with bigs 4 or 5 inches taller than him.
Yeah.
Than
Kala ko
Cedric
magpapalasela ko eh.
Lasal and UP. Akala ko din
Hindi,
Akala ko din.
Hindi. I'm sorry to PJ, but he hasn't shown na siguro nung first round against NU, maganda yung pinakita niya against Precious, but the rest, he wala
Hasn't been consistent.
Hasn't been consistent. Hindi niya nasa-stop yung mga big man. He hasn't been hanging with the big men of the other teams. So, ako, it's Cedric. Talaga, siya yung only one capable to back up Mo Tongkara. And as Sammy said, can actually play with Mo if need be. So, I'm putting as my starting power forward si Jake Figueroa as the only guy in our starting 5 who cannot shoot. And I think that's good. That's good because his main strength is attacking the basket. He is unstoppable, but he is most effective attacking the basket. Over and over again, we've seen this season, his strength is when he's in that mid-range, that 4 feet from the basket or near the basket. That's where he gets most of his buckets. He's also just like Chris Kuhn, can switch 1 through 5 if you need him to, diba? He's the guy who guards everyone. He's guarded the main guys on other teams multiple times. He's also a rebounder. He also can play make. He just can't shoot, but with 4 other guys with him who can shoot, I think he'll be pretty effective. Shout out to NU, Coach Jeff. Yung baka ganyan naman yung technique na gusto niyong gawin, di ba? Anyway, Maui.
Yeah. Actually, yun yung easy picks. But if you're to ask me, the reason why I also brought up Palacielo is because I wanted to put 2 bigs for my last 2 picks, di ba? It's because you have to have bodies against La Salle and
That's a good point.
UP. And it's one of the reasons why I picked Tongkara. Kasi Tongkara, you can also put versus Lopez, versus KQ. I mean, is somebody you can switch to big men who are faster, di ba? Big men who are basically wing players, di ba? And I think one of the main reasons why Palacielo, much like Tongkara, struggled in some games, it's because he's tasked to play that center slot, di ba? He gets into foul trouble easily. I think that's one of the main things that they lost also when they lost Diasana, di ba? That ability to play Palacielo at the 4 with Diasana becoming that main rim protector and defender of the FSA. But it's still hard to argue not to put Figueroa kasi Figueroa is one of the best players, di ba, in the UAAP. It's just that I don't know how our team will go up against La Salle when they go 3 bigs, di ba? Maybe they can make it up with their versatility on the other end, or maybe La Salle can do what they've been doing the whole season. Bully boy basketball, di ba? Just get a ton of offensive rebounds and keep on shooting. But yeah, si Figueroa is one of my favorite players. Diba? I picked him as my breakout player from last season. Yung shooting niya is still shady. It's not consistent. We see games where he hits multiple 3-pointers. We see games where he can't hit any 3-point shots. But Gabby's right. When you pair him with a number of shooters, then he can do what he does best, which is slash and get to the basket.
Wait, Maui, so kung si Palacielo pick mo sa NU, sino pick mo sa Adamson?
Manzano pa rin.
Sino
Gusto
pa rin?
niya 2 bigs.
Manzano pa rin.
Two bigs.
Gusto
Si
niya
Manzano pa rin.
2 bigs yung last 2 picks.
Manzano pa rin, of course. Manzano pa rin.
That makes sense, no? Kasi ang laki nga ng La Salle at ng UP. Siguro for me, to shout out lang din si Jolo Manansala, I considered also from NU. Kinda like a Figueroa type player, versatile. Siguro yung edge lang ni Manansala is he's a slightly better 3-point shooter, or at least magaling siya in the clutch. Basta top of yung gitnang tira last few seconds.
Top of the key na boarding.
Yan. Top of the key boarding yan. Diba? So,
top of the key na boarding.
yung isang reason ko why I considered Manansala, but I ended up with Figueroa. So, that was a fun question.
Let's add a wrinkle. Sinong coach?
Sino coach from any of the 6 teams? Sige. Sino coach nyo? Maui, I think I know who you're going with.
Wala eh. You can say it's a homer pick, but I'm still gonna pick Coach Tab, diba? Over any coach in the UAAP, I would still pick Coach Tab even above Coach Goldwyn, even above Coach Topex. It's just that the reality of the situation is Ateneo does not have a very talented team, which is why they're struggling. I really believe that the past 2 seasons, we've been able to maximize whatever we have, diba, on the floor. I still think that Coach Tab is the right person to lead the program. If you're starting a program to beat La Salle or UP, I don't think I have to argue, diba, yung resume ni Coach Tab, diba? Maybe only Coach. I think Coach Gold and Coach Topex are the only coaches in the UAP who have positive records, diba, against Coach Tab.
Yeah, if you syempre yung resume ni Coach Tab lamang talaga with against all the other coaches, especially kahit lang in the UAAP, diba? So I don't think that's a bad pick, diba? You don't have to defend.
Actually,
Gab.
Ako, given the lineup we picked, it's Tongkara, it's Figueroa, Kuhn, Bautista, Abate, and Manzano off the bench. We're essentially banking on outshooting UP or La Salle. Diba? So I'm picking a coach. I'm picking a coach who lives and dies by the 3-point shot and knows how to make plays
Mhm.
just getting shooters open, and that's Coach Jack Santiago.
Mhm.
Uh,
He's
this
my
lineup
Very
pick.
is a
good pick.
He's my
Yeah,
pick.
very
this
good
is
pick.
a
Okay,
dream.
go.
This is a dream pick. This is a dream lineup pala for Coach Jack Santiago. I think if you look at his lineup, every except for Figueroa, all four guys can shoot. I think he will salivate at this lineup. He will draw up plays. He will let them jack up 43-point shots if they can. Just to beat a UP or a La Salle. Given how they will not run a lot of post-ups because they don't have a precious moment way. They're undersized. With Motongkara, I think they will space the floor. They will go 5 out. They will probably go 4 out and 1 in. Maybe si Figueroa yung nasa loob. Who knows? But I do think si Coach Jack is the perfect coach for this lineup. If you want to uh, lock other teams down on defense, I do think si Coach Tab, I think his defensive game planning is still the best in the UAAP. But if you want to outshoot UP or SL, because that's essentially yung what we did by picking this team, I think si Coach Jack talaga yung perfect choice.
Actually, very
Okay.
good
Sammy.
pick.
Yeah,
Di ba?
Coach Jack.
Kasi
Yeah.
is
Go
the only
on.
coach. Coach Jack is the only coach who has a number on La Salle and UP this
Yeah.
season, di ba?
Yeah.
He's the only coach who has a win.
Okay, sorry about that. Mabagyo na walang kaming kuryente ni Maui sa area namin. So, I don't think Maui can make it back. But just to end that conversation, I'm going with Coach Jack Santiago. He's the only coach that has beaten La Salle or UP in this season. So he has the track record. And I want to give him a chance. Though I do want to mention one other coach. I think Coach Nash Racela needs consideration. He always makes the most out of the players that he has. So he would have been a good pick also for our super team. So that's it for that's it for this
End na natin bago mawalan
End na
na ulit
natin
ng kuryente.
bago ako mawalan ng kuryente. That's it for our pick. So our final 6 players super team versus UP and La Salle. Motongkara, Jake Figueroa, Chris Kuhn, Joric Bautista, John Abate, and our sixth man, sino yung sixth man natin? Cedric
Cedric.
Manzano, Baby Boy Manzano. Okay, so thank you, Mad C43 for that question. And comment down below your picks, your 6-man pick to beat UP and La Salle. Your thoughts for the upcoming games this weekend. Gab will be there. We'll see you around. Comment, like, share, subscribe. Thank you for the questions. Bye-bye.